What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Chris, as always with me,
Liam.
Today we are going into Alien Earth episode 4. Things are really starting to come together. If you guys are just tuning in for the first time, welcome. We are not experts by any means. We are just two guys who really love entertainment, and since you guys do too, we love to talk about it with you. So what we're going to be doing here is discussing episode 4. If you have any insights, any theories, anything you want to share below, do it in the comments. The only thing that we ask is that if you happen to have any spoilers, don't share them. We want to experience these things as you would in real time and really get to enjoy it. So
Theories are good.
theories are great. Yeah, if there's no, like, we're going to share our theories here too today. And if there's no evidence that this is like from canon, like you read the comic book and you know this is going to happen, kind of just a thing that we've had happen to us in the past with Marvel. So I'm just saying, don't do that. But other than that, theories, opinions, whether we're right or wrong, you want to argue with us, we don't care. We want to hear it. So we'll see you guys down in the comments below, because without further ado, we're going to dive right in. Hit subscribe if you haven't already.
What the fuck was the creepy doll? Doll head.
I don't know. I think, so you're talking about in the opening sequence with the beach, right? Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I think it was just another kind of visual representation of like the disconnect of the children, of how like they're no longer kids. They're like these robots and they're just like, I don't know. That's what I was going with, but there could be some more symbolism there. Definitely let me know.
So they woke Wendy up. So she was there, apparently.
Yeah, so we had the theories on the last episode. If you haven't checked those out, you can go ahead and do so. I'll leave a card up here for you guys. You know, last episode, we didn't really know in the ending whether or not she maybe was like projecting or doing something that we hadn't seen before, but hybrids are brand new to us, so we really don't know. And Wendy's even more special than the other hybrids, as we learned in this episode, confirmed. She can do things the others can't. And so we don't know the capabilities yet. So we thought maybe she was projecting or, you know, dreaming or something was going on where she was not really there. Otherwise, Kirsch and Toodles and all them should have noticed her.
And then they've got the power struggle of who's making decisions for her. And the brother argues that he should be making them, essentially. And then Boy Cavalier is arguing, I own her, kind of thing. Like, she's going to do what I say. And she's like, well, no, I make my decisions. And so she took ownership there, which I very much enjoyed.
Yeah, that whole scene really doubles down on just how lack of emotion Boy Cavalier is. He is just all about what he wants. He wants his results. He wants somebody he can have a conversation with. Now that he's found out that this alien species can speak, he's obsessed with being able to communicate with them. Like, he's on this quest to find something as intelligent as him. And so he really, really doubles down in this scene on not letting anyone refer to Wendy as a human being. It's property. It's a unit. Like, very, very hardcore emphasizes this, and goes out of his way. I don't know if he goes out of his way, but definitely emphasizes humility to Curly, because Curly is kind of like trying to win his favoritism right now, right? And because Wendy can hear this frequency, Boy Cavalier is really excited. And he's like, hey, can you hear this? Kind of like check out what was going on. And she's like, maybe. And he gets right in her, like, no, I don't want you to tell me what I want to hear. Tell me the truth. And she's like, no. And then he gets all excited because Wendy's special, and like she gets all upset. So it's like creating further divide amongst the Lost Boys, but also just really doubling down on how Kid Cavalier looks at these hybrids, and then also just how special Wendy is. But yeah, the thing between Joe and Cavalier was definitely unique. Like, they're fighting for humanity versus, you know, synthetic. It's really like the two different polar opposite kind of mentalities. He's still holding on to the humanity of his sister, the young little 12-year-old, and he's fully let go of that, and he's got this super robot that he can control and use. And he even goes on later in the episode to leverage the two of them against each other to get Joe and Wendy to do what he wants using the other one. So he really is just like devoid of emotion.
And Joe's now under his thumb too, because of that whole lung.
Yeah, they gave him a prosthetic lung, confirmed in this episode that he does have prosthetic lung. But then Adam, his assistant there, is just kind of like, yeah, we can either send you home and bill you, or you can do what we say, because we need confirmation that our experiment worked. And you are the only person who already has access and knows of this person previous of their hybrid life.
I'm struggling. Repo Men is what I was thinking of with that scene.
Yeah, when he comes and takes the, that was, who's the actor in that?
Wasn't Jude Law, was
It
it?
was Jude Law. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. That was a good, interesting movie for sure.
Yeah. And then we have, I guess, Boy Cavalier's fixer, lawyer, that guy. That, I'm talking the one you think is an android or whatever, synthetic.
Oh, he's like his manservant.
Yeah.
Like his assistant. Yeah.
He feels like a fixer.
His name's Adam. I think he's just his like personal assistant. He's a synthetic that does everything Boy Cavalier asks him to do.
I'm not sure if he's a synthetic.
Oh, I'm 100% convinced at this point that he is a synthetic.
Really?
Oh yeah. So the imagery they used in this episode, specifically with that character, he's talking to Joe in the lab, I guess, where they designed these hybrids, and you even have Adam standing there, Adam being the first human, the first synthetic. Come on, there's so much connection there. But anyway, he stands there in front of the faces, and it looks like his face looks like one of those synthetic faces. It's like, and they're giving us every clue they can. His robotic mannerisms, his way, he's very analytical. Like, he's not quite Kirsch, but I think what they did was when they built Kirsch with a scientific mind. So he's going to always want to explore and grow and learn new things. And when they built Adam, they built him with an analytical, like almost a business mind. So what Boy Cavalier has done,
Like my bots, my AI bots.
he's building real life AI bots for different purposes is the word I'm looking for. So he has Adam, who's business. He has Kirsch, who's like science. And then he's like creating these hybrids now, because obviously they're in the race for immortality, and that's kind of like whoever wins that, it literally takes over the universe. So Boy Cavalier is very, very concerned about that. But with these new aliens, he's actually like given up on that a little bit. He's so distracted by communicating with these aliens that even Arthur, the shiny unknown, Arthur, the husband, that's also the doctor, scientist,
which we just discovered.
Well, no, we figured that out in episode 1. They hint to it. Like, they do hint heavily because
It's confirmed now.
Yeah, they talk about being married. Like, they're in the same room talking to each other, and it's very much husband and wife. They even mentioned something like a husband and wife dynamic in the conversation. So I already had picked that up.
Okay, but the biggest reason I think Adam is not synthetic is because of how sleazy he is.
Lack of emotion synthetic, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's designed by Boy Cavalier. So, I mean, think of AI today. If you program the AI is going to think and operate the way you program it to.
Yeah.
And a sleazy businessman as your AI is exactly what you would need to build a $1 trillion empire.
I guess it's not that far-fetched, is it?
I don't think so, dude. I really do think he is. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. We love always disagreeing because it creates these conversations. And, I want to know what you guys think in the comments below.
Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. Same with Chris.
Oh, yeah. I don't mind eating crow. That's why I like this. This is fun.
And it's helpful when you guys chime in with your stuff too, whether you prove us right or wrong. That's really fucking cool because you're educating. As long as you do it from a place of education and, hey, check this out. There's no malice behind that. Don't feel ashamed about that. I am kind of getting a little sick of the Peter Pan thing.
Oh, I'm loving it.
Really?
Yeah, it's such great symbolism for what's going on. You've got, obviously, Boy Cavalier as Peter Pan. You've got the Wendy, the Lost Boys. You've got Morrow as Captain Hook, even with the freaking hook hand, right? You've got
the crocodile now.
Crocodiles are the Xenomorphs, right? So it's all right there. And what's cool is that if you really look at Peter Pan, not from like the Disney's perspective, but like from the original folklore fairy tale, like the original Peter Pan is almost like a demon, right? He steals children and then brings them to Neverland, and then they never grow up because as they grow up, he kills them.
Like the Grimm's fairy tale version?
He kills them. So it's like, what do you think he's going to do with these Lost Boys if when they start to defect or grow up or do what they're not supposed to do, grow up, right? He's going to just wipe them out if he can. We'll see. But ultimately, I think the whole metaphor of Peter Pan and the way they're laying out really does set the corporation to be the true villain, which was the original like vision for Alien 1. But then the monsters did so, like the Xenomorphs did so well that they kind of went with the more monster thriller theme later on. But yeah, I'm loving it. Let us know.
I don't have a problem with the symbolism. I just feel like it's too shoved in your face is what I'm saying.
Oh,
that's the part I'm not thrilled about. But I look past that because entertainment, and I'm not going to be pleased by everything, right?
Like I said, we don't always agree, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinions too. Does it add to it, or is it just so in your face that it's like, okay, enough's enough?
I'm really enjoying Morrow, though.
Yeah. Oh, dude. The whole time I'm sitting there, I'm like, these kids, they clearly do not have stranger danger classes at this far in the future. Because Morrow is like, if you've ever watched like the stranger danger videos when we were younger, and like you had to like go through the different scenarios so you would learn how to not get picked up by a stranger, Morrow's doing basically every one of those things to the T.
It's a checkbox.
Yeah, he's just going down the list. Oh, I shouldn't do that. Let me do that.
Yeah. All right. But the way he's manipulating slightly is like resistant at first. And
He's a scared kid.
I love how Morrow is like not lying at all in anything that he's saying. Have you noticed that?
Well, so, yeah, I mean, that's one thing kids are really good at is picking up insincerity. Like they can read emotion much better than like they don't know what they're doing yet, but they can feel it. It's just a weird feeling they get. They're uncomfortable. They don't want to be near it. And so I think Morrow is leaning into that. He had a daughter. He understands children. And so he's leaning into that like paternal part of himself where he can, you know, like telling your kid that Santa exists. You're lying straight to your kid's face. But at the same time, you're doing it for the benefit of the magic and the imagination, all the things that come with celebrating a Christmas at that age, right? So you can tell them a lie by telling them a truth without ever, you know, without like hiding the lie, right? I think he's really good at that. Yeah.
So Morrow wants Slightly to go steal an egg. So his first attempt, he goes up, and then he runs into now Isaac.
Yeah, was
because he just changed his name. I wanted to call him David. He went to Kirsch.
Yeah.
And it was like, I kind of want to change my name. And he's like, what would it be? He's like, Isaac. He's like, okay, why? Kind of thing. And so he explains for Isaac Newton. And yeah, so he gets a new name. He comes out, has a conversation with Slightly, and he's like, you can change your name? I'm like, I don't know, but I did.
So if you notice it, it's very childlike, right? So he comes out, and he's a kid, right, mentally. So he comes out, and he sees him there, and Slightly is obviously like frantic because he's trying to do something that he's very uncomfortable to do, doesn't want to do, and so he's like all over the place. But the whole time, Isaac now is just like, I got to change my name. He's like all like bragging about it, and like all proud. And then out of natural curiosity, it's like, oh, well, you know, because he says Arthur something to the lab to get something. Natural curiosity for a kid, be like, oh, well, what are you going to get? And clearly, Slightly being another child, had not thought that far into his lie, and it's like, oh shit, I don't know. I gotta go, and just like walks out.
And then walks the wrong direction first, and then comes back.
Yeah, just total like
Isaac just wants to go play video games with him.
Yeah,
but he goes back out and he has a conversation with Morrow again. But we find out that Kirsch is watching and listening in this whole time.
Yeah, we learned two interesting things. One, that it's not just when we get to listen to some of the conversations that Morrow and Slightly are having, but Morrow is actually in communication with him 24/7. Can listen and talk to him whenever he wants. So we have to believe that Morrow has been just berating and wearing down Slightly this whole time with the kindness and the truths and the parental like gestures he's doing, the to catch a predator checklist, as we said. He's just going through that with them, working his way in, like finding any little chink that he can find his way in with the trust. And then he does.
Well, Slightly also still has that conversation with Kirsch in private when he's like, would you tell on your friend kind of thing?
Yeah, so that's interesting, and I want to get your opinion. Why do you think Kirsch is not doing anything? Why do you think... So first of all, he's not reporting it to Prodigy. He's not reporting it to security. He's not reporting to anybody.
Or Boy Cavalier. I think we can all agree that Kirsch does not like Boy Cavalier at all.
Yeah. He has some animosity there for sure. For sure.
So I think he just wants to see where it goes.
Yeah.
That's what I believe with Kirsch.
So we did learn that Morrow is constantly communicating. We learned that Kirsch is listening in and that he's not reporting it to Prodigy. But the other thing I wanted to ask you is that when he's talking to Slightly specifically, the questions that he's asking him have nothing to do with like Prodigy or protecting IP or any of that. He really wants to know, like, if things went wrong, what would you do? Like if people were in danger, if you had a decision, like would you hurt others? Would that be some kind of like along the same lines of like Morrow was asking him, like when is a machine not a machine, but a little bit more different questions. He answers him with, I would protect my friends, which in my mind's like, okay, he would choose the other hybrids over anything else. And that answer, for whatever reason, was satisfactory for Kirsch. He was like, okay, that's fine. That's good with me.
It's like a war between human and synthetic at that point, based on how you're describing it, and I'm hearing it from you.
Yeah, so maybe it's the way I'm framing it also, because that's the way I perceive it. And so maybe because I perceive it that way, I could be framing it that way. But I perceive this as Kirsch isn't reporting things, and he's doing the things he's doing and operating the way he is because he plans at some point to be in charge and use the hybrids to basically create this new synthetic race to pull them away from the humans altogether and truly be above what they are. Like the David does in Prometheus, where he finally says, I am better than my creator. I am God. And he moves on, right? To think that he's better than humans. So I think that we might see something like that. But there's a theory that's going around that I kind of enjoy and I kind of want to see more than I believe it kind of could happen. Because I believe that there is a possibility that Boy Cavalier is a synthetic, that he was like the first hybrid and now he's just trying to create his equal, right? We talked about it in a previous episode. But what I think may be happening is that Hirsch is going to, like you want him to, let Boy Cavalier get caught up in some shit. Maybe a Xenomorph, maybe the eye thing, whatever it is. Probably going to be a Xenomorph facehugger. But the facehugger isn't going to do anything because he's synthetic, right? So it's going to, I guess, attack him because it's confused. But then, because he's early model, so it doesn't necessarily read it yet, is the way I'm seeing it.
Okay.
And then
you knew where I was going to...
Yeah, because it reacts to him as organic matter. So some part of him probably still is organic. He's an earlier model. Tries to attack him, and then it doesn't work because he's actually, that parts of him are synthetic. But now that I'm talking it out, during this episode, one of his biggest fears is that Yutani would take it and implant it into him. So now that I've talked it out, I don't believe it.
See, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
What I want to talk about was when Slightly is talking to Kirsch and Kirsch asks Slightly a question, Morrow jumps in, careful. That's the part I wanted to bring up. So yes, he is always listening and paying attention.
Yeah.
And with the cyborg enhancements, I'm sure he could follow along as he's just doing anything else that he wants.
Yeah, we don't know the extent of his enhancements yet. We don't know exactly what he's capable of. We know we can download large quantities of data. We know he can turn his hand into like a torch or a knife. You make a multi-tool in his arm, basically.
Like T-1000, but for the arm.
Yeah, T-1000 was way better. Way better. His whole thing would just move. It was liquid. That was cool.
But back to where we were.
Or that was a 2000. T-2000, right? T2. Anyway, Terminator 2, that one. That one was cool. The liquid one.
T-1000.
Was it the 1000?
I think so.
Oh, okay. It's been too long for me to remember.
All right. So he's being observed by Kirsch, Slightly is, and talking to Morrow. Morrow is now with his mom. Yeah, so using Stranger Danger, he convinces him to share his real name with him. And as soon as he does, you see the smile on Morrow's face. He's got all the stuff he would need to blackmail him out. And then the very next scene you see, yep,
he's blackmailing. Yep.
That's what's happening. So he's like, you're still going to have to defend your family like you said you would. You'd do anything. You've already told us that.
Yeah.
And so now he wants him to go in and get one of the alien eggs and infect someone and then put them in the closet for like a couple days till the facehugger falls off, and then call him and he'll come get them.
Yeah.
But the reason I bring that up is the not lying part. He's like, but what will happen to them? Oh, they'll feel pretty bad for a couple days, but after I get them, I'll make them feel comfortable.
Yep.
So he's never lying. Like, that's what I noticed in this episode. The biggest time was he's not lying about any of the shit he's saying.
Yeah.
He's just not telling everything. Now we got to talk about the redhead.
Yeah, so there's a lot of really cool stuff that happens in this, and clearly we'll get to the eyeball because that was fun. But yeah, Nibs is, we saw our last episode having a lot of fractures towards the end. They even had the symbolism of the two faces crossing over, almost like the two worlds were not merging, the synthetic and organic were not merging. She's having a fracture of her mind. And in this episode, we see it's full fracture. She will not accept that she is synthetic. She believes she's declaring she is pregnant. If you try to say anything about her being synthetic, she gets angry. If you say anything about the previous trauma she's been in or bring up anything about the past, she gets very angry.
I don't think it's anything about the past. I think it's specifically about the incident with the eye.
Well, there's 3 different times she gets mad. One is when both, I guess both would be considered. The first 2 would be her trying to convince her that she's synthetic. So that makes sense. And then the real trauma of the past would be on the ship with the eye.
Yes. So what if, because we don't know everything about this eye yet.
We just know it's highly intelligent.
What if it went ahead and kind of infected her some way? And that's why she's sensing pregnancy when it's really the parasite growing.
Yeah. If she was not synthetic, I could go there. But we have never seen in any Alien movie or any canon that we've ever seen with the Alien franchise where any organic, parasitic, xenomorph, whatever it may be, has been able to grow and burst out of a synthetic. We've never seen that.
We've never seen this eye either.
Okay. Well, it'd be very interesting, and I would need a lot of explanation on how that worked, because there's nothing inside a synthetic that they could feed off of to grow. So that would be a hard stretch for me.
I don't know, because we still don't know completely how they are made.
We don't know how it reproduces. We don't know its life cycle. We don't know if the eye is the final evolution. Like a xenomorph, does it start off as an egg? Like, where does it, we don't know any of that. You're right.
And we don't know any of that for the kids either.
What do you mean?
Because they're hybrids, meaning 2 different things at once.
No, because we do know what they're made of. We saw it in the both episodes now. Anytime you're in that room where Joe and Adam were, you can see, if you pause it, you'll see exactly what they're made of. The thing that makes them hybrid is their human consciousness. They are full synthetic bodies.
You're 100% sure of that?
Yes, 1000%. If you pause it, you can see they are a complete synthetic with a human consciousness implanted into it. That's what makes them hybrid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like I have enough information yet.
They don't have a brain. They don't have a brain. It's just like a box. Like their body is metal. Like,
is that what Joe picked up too?
Yeah. Like
it's saying that's the brain?
Yeah.
Or the heart?
No, the brain.
Okay.
Well, the thing he picks up, I believe, that with the circular thing with all the, I believe that's their brain. But it only shows you like the diagram of their body on the screen. So it shows you that none of them is meat. Like none of it is meat.
Okay. The way that they're laying up the pregnancy thing, that's where my mind goes. And this being sci-fi, you kind of rewrite the rules of pretty much anything you want.
Yeah, it could go that way, and it's a great theory, but I just really I'm of a different belief, and the belief is that it's because her mind is so fractured, she's refusing to believe she's synthetic. And because of that, she's doing the only thing that would actually be like an organic thing she could still do, which is give birth. But she's not really pregnant. It's just her disassociating with her reality and the trauma that she's under. I think that's really it. But we'll see. Let us know your theories below.
Joe now has a choice to make when he's talking to that lawyer. That's where we're at right now.
I don't think he's a lawyer. He's just the assistant.
Okay. To me, I think of him as like a lawyer fixer. So when I say that, I'm referring to Adam. So when he's talking to Adam,
there you go.
When he's talking to Adam pretty much tells him that he's got a choice. He can either give up the lung, pay off this huge freaking debt that he now has in him, or he can just simply work. It's common sales technique.
Yeah.
For giving him the easiest option at the end there. But he also has the choice of, if he stays, he gets to be with his sister, and if he doesn't stay, he loses access to her all over again like she died.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, it was amazing. Like it's straight sales tactic. The first option is something that would be hell to choose, and the second option is really the only option, right? That's the sale, and it's the last thing they leave you on, so it's the last thing you think about. It's all sales tactic. But yeah, basically he would, like you said, lose complete access and then have to pay off the lung. So not only would he lose the one thing he wants in his life, a family, connection to something from his past, he would also be in so much debt he would never get to like do anything else that ever lived. Like he would just be paying off debt forever. So yeah, I mean, he chooses to stay. Basically, in the name of the episode, observation, the only thing he has to do is observe and report. So he gets to stay with his sister and observe and report on whether he believes that she really is his sister.
Which leads us to the next issue and the jealousy that Slightly feels when he walks up, when he's finally willing to make that decision of bringing a human there.
Is it jealousy or is it just straight anger? Because he just came off the phone call with Morrow threatening his mother's and brother's lives. And he also had the guilt of his mother now knowing he is alive.
Okay, look at it from this lens, though. If they're alive and he sees Joe with Wendy, then if his family was allowed to be there, they'd be there and they'd be safe and he wouldn't have to do this.
Yeah, that's why I thought he was angry. But I guess jealousy could lead to anger. They could be one and the same.
Yeah, and he also sees he's like the only human around. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he's battling between hurting the friend as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's another reason why I think he's leaning more towards anger, is because he comes, by the end of the episode, comes to a place of Joe's his target. Like he comes to a complete conclusion that he is going to trick Joe and get Joe implanted.
When he's standing outside the window, all creepy like.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I first saw that, I thought it was Boy Cavalier standing out there obsessing over his competition for Wendy's attention. That's where I first saw it. Or how I first saw it.
Boy Cavalier very specifically stated in this episode, it's my world, they're just living in it. Mm-hmm. I do believe that he is jealous of Joe and wants to make sure that he is not in competition for his attention with Wendy, but I don't think that he's going to use more nefarious means like Adam to get his way. He's not going to be the dude standing outside the window.
I don't know. I thought it was so much of an ego trip, but that's what my first thought was when I saw the silhouette from behind the person standing out the window.
We do got to talk about some things because it doesn't make sense not to talk about it and then jump into the end, because then there's things. So one of the things that we learned through Boy Cavalier and Wendy is that Wendy she's basically a supercomputer that can mimic sound. Like
he tricks her into it.
Well, I don't think he tricks her. I think he walks her through how to understand her new body. Mm-hmm. You know, you are not a human. You don't have a voice. What you hear is actually a speaker. You have a mainframe and a computer inside your head. You can access these files and reproduce them. And she was just like, oh, and then she figures it out within seconds how to do that, which then leads us to what we can talk about at the very end of this video, which she's able to do. But the cool thing that we need to talk about is this eyeball.
Hold on.
You got something else. Nice.
Forgot about Nibs.
What does she do?
So when she loses her shit on the doctor.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring up the whole thing that we...
Oh, yeah. Thought. Yeah, your theory. Okay, let's go there. So when Nibs and the doctor kind of come to a climax, right? So Nibs loses her cool, jumps clear across the room, lands on her. Doesn't hurt her, but very, intent, if you keep going, I will hurt you.
Yes.
Doctor, very, very scared, but keeps her cool. Diffuses the situation, starts talking about the tea, walks over, hits the alarm, and then the guards come in. Now,
I forgot I had an appointment, she said.
Right, she plays it off so that Nibs never knows, and then the guards just kind of bring her back to her room, but she says something to the guards that you caught, that I don't think anybody caught. I didn't catch, because it's such a obscure reference, but because we're so deep in Foundation right now, I think you were already there. And so, what's your theory?
So she said level 3 event, right? Yep. And that had me thinking with the whole Isaac thing and paying attention to what other people are saying online. Mm-hmm. I came to a conclusion that, hey, that level 3, because she just jumped and attacked the doctor, that level 3 just means that she's capable of breaking the third law of robotics.
By Asimov's third law of robotics, which Asimov was also featured in this episode. Boy Cavalier talks about how advanced technology is undescribable from magic, right? Which is an Asimov thing. And so it wouldn't be too far-fetched once you brought that up to think that he would also classify his danger by the laws. So that's kind of cool. What do you guys think? Is that actually a nod to the law, or is that like us Liam overthinking? Because that's definitely his theory.
And I'm very good at overthinking.
Yeah, so let's dive into the eye, because a big part of this episode's observation, and I thought we were going to get a lot more specimen observation, but it was actually across the board just observation. You have everybody observing everybody kind of thing, so it's like a little bit more meta than I thought it was going to be. But we do actually get to see some cool alien stuff in this one, and it really is centered around the Ocellus, the eyeball looking thing. And so they hook it up to the sheep pen, send it in. It doesn't directly attack like it did when it saw Nibs. Like when it saw Nibs, it ran up and just jumped. It was like, I want this. But when it saw the sheep, it was like, it like analyzed it for a bit. It was like checking it out. It was walking around, and then it attacked it, which, how crazy is that?
You know, I thought of when it was doing that? Peasants. You expect me to have this?
Yeah. And we got to learn some really cool things via Kirsch and Isaac now's conversation while they're doing this. We learned that whatever life form this eyeball takes over, it also absorbs, like it can match its intelligence. It's actually more intelligent than the life form it takes, so but it can maximize its intelligence because it's so intelligent. So it actually stands the sheep up on hind legs, like he wants a higher life form. And so it stands it up and then realizes, oh, wait, well, we got to go like this. And so it's like assuming the body, but you can tell like it's way more intelligent than what it's inside of. And we confirm that with the gamma rays, because Isaac's like, wow, look at these gamma rays. They're way different than before.
Waves, I think.
Yeah, and then
not rays.
Oh, you're correct. Not rays, waves. And Ursh goes, yeah, it's highly intelligent. You can see it's like its intelligence increasing based on the fact that it's like it absorbed into this new mind. But then he goes to further explain just how intelligent this thing is and how it's watching them. It's observing them as much as he's observing it, and it's studying him, and he's like really fascinated by it. And did you catch just how jealous Boy Cavalier got? That this, like, so Kirsch is fascinated by the alien's fascinated by Kirsch. They're both like doing this, and Cavalier's like getting mad that this alien is not paying him attention.
Yeah. That's why he grabs the ball.
Yeah, he bounces it off the wall. That's another reason why I think Adam's a synth. He fucking slams the ball off the wall at Adam without even flinching, goes and just catches it, just like Wendy did in episode 1. He's a synth. But anyway,
okay, you could be right.
But he gets his attention by bouncing the ball.
But he also makes a comment about the glass being pretty much indestructible, right?
Yes. They do mention that the container they're in is supposed to be indestructible.
But later on, when we see the alien come out of the lung,
I'm hoping it's not the same glass, because it's a much smaller, different style container, and it's only holding... And it's I guess maybe because it's supposed to be holding like a baby.
But still should be the same material.
Here's the thing. I'm under the belief right now that they are 2 different glasses, because nothing would have stopped the eyeball from just breaking out if it wanted to, right? Why wouldn't it just break out? We saw how strong it is.
It's still learning. It wants to be there to bide its time, maybe.
Yeah, it does very much, like a lot of its actions in this reminded me of like an octopus. Like if you were to like put a crab in a jar and drop it into an octopus's tank, like that's what it would do. It would feel around with
those
its
puzzle videos are awesome.
And like open it. Very much the movement of it reminded me of that.
Have you seen those? Yeah. The puzzle videos where
awesome.
They go through the maze and the different traps.
Very smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're cool.
So maybe that's why I made that association also.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see later that the glass is the same, but in this episode, maybe it is just biding its time. It is so smart. It could just be waiting and learning and observing and trying to figure things out. But yeah, that leads us into, well, Boy Cavalier gets its attention, all that happens, and then they kind of leave it alone, and it's just in there being observed, and it's observing them for like the rest of the episode, basically. They don't really do much more experimenting with it once it's inside the sheep. It's just in it. And then now they have it basically being all the data, though, getting its brain functions and all the things they can grab from it. So just doing experiments on it that way, not necessarily like probing it and feeding it and doing different things. But we do have to jump to the very exciting thing that we close out on with this episode, is Wendy decides to go back down to the lab, which is kind of what Boy Cavalier has her doing. He wants her to communicate with the alien so Joe can stay. She goes down. She's working with this new function that she has with her voice. She's kind of doing the clicks, doing the different things, but then decides to kind of just sit down and sing a lullaby. And lo and behold, he comes out to greet her.
And Kirsch is just watching off in the shadows.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, again, with the observing title of the episode, very much in theme. And Kirsch is very fascinated by this. He's like, he sees something he likes. And she's able to coax it out, first of all. And then it doesn't attack her. I think it's more frightened of her at first. And then she starts to communicate with it more. And it starts to subdue. And then it's almost like a baby, a mother seeing its baby for the first time, like the way she's caressing it, and like very interesting and maternal, which I thought was like, uh-oh.
Didn't Sigourney Weaver do that?
Yeah. But that was because she had given birth to it.
Okay.
So
it's just a nod to that.
So in Alien Resurrection, they bring her back to life. And when they do, they take the chest burster out and they use that to make all the aliens, and they create the whole experiment that they're doing there. But part of this experiment and what happened is this new queen now can give birth to a half human, half alien hybrid, which is the one that Sigourney Weaver is like caressing at the very end of that movie. And then they suck it through the little hole.
Yeah, but when it's on the table and it breaks out of the tank and she's making the clicking sound, so as you said, it seems very familiar. First, it wants to attack.
I think
it's not sure.
Yeah, it's scared of her, I think. It doesn't. She's big and doesn't know what it is, and it just wants. Because initially, in the older movies, as soon as it breaks out of the chest, it starts killing people. This one did not do that. It was more reluctant, almost like, do I need to run, or like, what's going on?
Kind of like your theory with the Xenomorph in the shipping container.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it moved very much like a cobra.
It had no legs or arms.
It had itty bitty arms, but they didn't come out yet.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice that. It looked like a snake to me, which, in the past, they come out with legs. So I'm like, that looked weird.
Yeah, I think of the Spaceball scene.
Great movie.
Yes.
So one last thing I want to talk about because that was the end of the episode, but I have a theory now. In my research for this show and everything we've been doing leading into it, one of the things that I was doing is kind of like educating myself a little bit on like the comics, because there's a lot of comics that go into the Alien universe that aren't necessarily canon. But one of the comic runs, I have not read it, so please, if I say anything, let me know in the comments below and let me know what I got wrong and share the right stuff so that we can always correct our mistakes. There is a comic run, to my understanding, where a synthetic being becomes a hybrid xenomorph, like synthetic queen. And basically this synthetic becomes the hive mind, the queen for these xenomorphs. And so when you combine what Wendy's doing right now and the fact that out there in the universe there has been a run where a hybrid, or not a hybrid, but a synthetic, because there was no hybrids then, synthetic actually does something to become the matriarch of a hive, wouldn't be too far-fetched to think that maybe, total theory, of no grounds I'm standing on right now, maybe Wendy becomes the queen for this Earth hive of xenomorphs that are going to get loose on Neverland.
That would be interesting. However, I think it would be really fucking cool if this one becomes like her pet and fights the other ones to defend her.
That'd be interesting too. What other ones though? There are no other ones yet. Yeah.
There's always going to be more. We know this.
Yeah.
And it's possibly going to be from the egg that slightly steals.
Yeah.
Or could steal.
I think either Boy Cavalier. I think Boy Cavalier gets it before Joe. I think it would be too soon, maybe not, for Wendy to lose him, because that would break the character.
Or because of the relationship of Joe, because it came from Joe's lung. That could add another level of connection.
Because it's from DNA from her family.
Yes.
It could make a difference. Yeah.
Have we seen like siblings before get infected?
I mean, I'm trying to remember, but TBI.
Yeah.
My brain doesn't work like that. I have to watch it recently.
Right now, I don't know. If you guys have the answer, please let me know. Again, let me know if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah. One last theory I wanted to just throw out there before we close out. There is a theory out there that I like, and I want to share it with you guys and hear your opinions too. Yutani, the Japanese owner, the female, she intentionally crashed her ship into New Siam. She knew it. She's playing 4D chess. She knew that Prodigy would not give her stuff back. He wouldn't be able to resist experimenting on them. And because of that, he would basically wipe himself out. Then they would come in, clean it out, and they would have no more competition, and they could just take over.
Ooh, that's a good theory. Because they even make, when she calls up asking to get her ship back, they even joke about it saying, oh yeah, typical. That's exactly what they do. I knew that was coming, kind of thing, right?
So the idea here is that, again, the biggest part of this is how much of the original movies is going to be laid into canon of the Alien Earth series, right? Because in Alien, the 4 movies that we originally had, there is no Prodigy. There is no talk of hybrids, cyborgs, Prodigy, anything that we're introduced to now. Now, that can be just because we're running in a different timeline, and, this show is going to create a whole different origin, and we can go with that too. But if it sticks with the canon, then at some point, hybrids, cyborgs, and Prodigy, as a company, needs to get wiped off the face of the earth. Otherwise, we would hear about them. So that really cements in that Yutani is playing 4D chess. And the reason we never hear about Prodigy is because Yutani wiped them the fuck out with that first ship.
It's like the new kid to the Billionaires Club, where Yutani was like brought up in this life.
Yeah, she's bred into it.
Clear advantage.
Yeah, it's literally passed down from mother to daughter to mother to daughter, mother to daughter, and all the way up. There's a grandmother, mother, and daughter. All of them have run that company, and now we're based on what we heard from Morrow, we're 3 generations in since he left, and so
play out. That could definitely play out.
This could be a really viable theory. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Really appreciate you guys tuning in with us all the way here. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. It's a little click for you, but it greatly helps us. And we can't wait to see what you guys have to say down in the comments below. But until then, we'll see you on one of these other videos. Peace.
Find the strength hiding in each battle scar. You're not who you were, you've already come far.